Hey yo, peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, man, and we live again on another show of Just a Thought, baby. It's another week, it's another Wednesday, and it's another day for you to be able to grow, prosper, and be able to get their healthy nutrients and vitamins that you need, boy, because that's what we provide here on this show. You know what I'm saying? Hey, today's show is going to be about trading your job, saving your job for your dreams. Is it a bad idea? And so we're going to go over some of the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You know, why do people think like this, man? Like they'll put their job before their dreams. They'll be like, man, well, you know, right now I got to be able to get money to do this, and right now I got to be able to do this. And I mean, I understand that totally all the time, but it's never going to be a time to be able to get to the things that you need to, because it's always going to be a time that it's always going to be a way to be able to make an excuse. But I'm gonna just tell you, man, you got to be able to push forward. You got to be able to push positive and be able to know that the universe has your best interest in mind at all times. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to be able to push forward. All right. So, man, we going to open this thing up, man, with the intro like we always do at this time. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, man. Check it out, Jeff.
Yo, peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, and I want to share my experiences with you. If I had to put my life in one word, I would have to say ridiculous, man. From growing up in one of the worst neighborhoods in St. Louis, Missouri, launching a successful music career, recording with some of the top names in the industry, and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation, and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just a Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. See you soon.
Bringing in peace. Breathing. Being able to breathe into it. As we open this show up, man, just being able to be a voice, be a vessel, be used, be able to say the right things, and know and let spirit be able to lead. Yeah, that's what we gonna do, man. We gonna let spirit lead the way. So with that being said, man, check it out. So today's show, man, is saving your job for your dreams. Is it a bad idea? Man, you know, it's always something to think about when you know, when you first get that job, man, it's because either we're talking about in survival mode. We're not talking about people who are living what it is that they love to do. If you love what it is that you love to do, you are absolutely perfectly in tune with what it is that you're supposed to be doing. This is not for you, because anybody who's doing exactly what it is that they want to be doing at this particular time is a successful person, and that is not what I'm talking about here. This is what I'm talking about, is settling. I'm talking about people who are choosing to be able to have all this talent and have all these things and want to start these businesses and want to be able to do all these things, but yet they let these circumstances hold them back to be able to reach their highest potential or be able to get to the goals they need to. They use their job as an excuse. So, you know, they can't get around to doing a business. You be like, man, why you ain't doing this? And why you ain't doing this? And they always tell you, man, I was at work or I was this. And their job becomes an excuse. It's no longer a place that they even want to be at anymore. It's an excuse, and it's a way that they use it to be able to say why they didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Anytime that you get to a place where you're at a job, right? And You know, when you first start, you're always motivated, you're always ready to be there, you love being there. There's no other place you'd rather be at. But then when you lose that motivation and you lose that love to be able to be there anymore, then you've lost your purpose and your drive. And that means that you are not doing the things that you want to do. And even in doing the things that you want to do, far as like if you're an actor, music, writer, film director, clothes, all that different type of stuff, you know, sometimes you lose the passion for that, but you find new things that evolve into the other arts. But with jobs, you'll never be satisfied doing somebody else's dream. You know what I'm saying? Like I just rather I rather make less than to be following and creating dreams for somebody else. I'd rather make 30, 40,000 a year than to be able to be creating somebody else's dreams for 100,000 or for whatever, because now I'm out of purpose and I'm out of line with what it is that I'm supposed to be doing with this life, you know. And two, everything that we do is always in direct to whatever services that we're providing, you know what I'm saying? So we want to be able to be of service at all time, being able to have a business that's going to be able to sow and reap. But most people are so stuck in the mindset of being able to have that job that they'll work at a place that they hate. And when I say that you hate it, whenever you're using it as an excuse to be able to say why you're not doing the other things that you're supposed to be doing, you absolutely hate that thing. All I hear is that you hate that vibration of your living. So you know what I'm saying? What we're going to do now, man, we're going to play a video and kind of go over, you know, it's going to be telling you a little bit more about, you know, finding meaningful jobs. All right.
The first requirement of any job is that it should pay. But almost as important, yet much less commonly recognized, is that a job should feel full of meaning. Yet how does a job get to feel meaningful? What even does it mean to say that a job has meaning? There seem to be three things that imbue work with meaning. Firstly, a meaningful job taps into the deepest, most sincere and talented parts of us. So different people will necessarily find different sorts of work meaningful, according to what's inside their deepest self. For some, meaning might emerge from baking bread. Others will feel their deep self engaged by computer science. For others still, they'll feel most fully themselves, most fully alive, when investing money or teaching kids a foreign language. Secondly, a meaningful job is one which to some extent helps others, which fixes a problem that humans have, a job which in ways large and small serves humanity. Meaningful work provides a service to others. And thirdly, a job feels meaningful when the person doing it can viscerally sense day to day the impact of their work upon an audience. Not only is the job theoretically meaningful, it actually feels meaningful as one does it in the course of an average day. Why should it be so hard to find meaningful work? Why are we in such danger of doing work that brings in money but doesn't fulfill the meaning side of us? Three big reasons stand out. Firstly, because it's perilously hard for us to locate our true interests in the time we have before simply paying the bills becomes the imperative. Our interests don't manifest themselves spontaneously. They require us to patiently analyze ourselves and try out a range of options to see what feels as if it might have the best fit for us. But unfortunately, schools and universities, as well as society at large, doesn't place much emphasis on this stage of education, on helping people to understand their authentic working identities. There's far more emphasis on simply getting ready for any job than a job that would be particularly well suited to us. Which is a pity, not just for individuals, but for the economy as a whole, because people will always work better, harder, and more fruitfully when their deep selves are engaged. Secondly, many jobs are relatively meaningless because it's very possible in the current economy. What even does it mean to say that a job has meaning?
So being able to find some type of meaning into your job, man. Why do you do this? Why it's like they say, your why will make you cry. Why are you getting up in the morning to be able to do this job, and why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? See, most people don't even understand the reason why they're even getting up and doing a job. They do it because they see everybody else doing. Their mother did it, their father did it, this person did it, and it just becomes a routine. And I'm here to tell you, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go towards your dreams and you want to go towards anything that's going to be meaningful or going to be something that's going to cause purpose in your life, man, you're going to have to go after it. And it's not going to look the way that everybody else gets to their dreams. But it's going to be more meaningful. It's going to serve more purpose, and it's going to mean something to you. It's going to make you feel validated in yourself instead of trying to be validated out in the world. I remember for a long time. So, you know, I've been chasing, well, I've been doing my dreams for a long time. I was chasing my dreams for a long time instead of letting things come into me, but also going after it. And, you know, I used to see my friends be able to get a lot of things that I thought was meaningful at the time. You know, they were having the houses and having the cars and having everything that they needed to be able to have. And at one point I thought I was a failure. You know, I didn't know that I would get down on myself. I thought I was a failure because I wasn't where I needed to be at that for the age, right? I went off of what people say you're supposed to have for your age. You're supposed to have this, or you're supposed to have this. And that's not my idea of happiness. It wasn't my idea of happiness. And I had to learn how to embrace my idea of happiness. And my idea of happiness is not being able to work for somebody else's dreams. I just can't see myself giving up my creative attitude or my creative way about things to appease someone and what it is that they want to be able to do within the world, because I have my own things that I want to do in the world. And I'm not speaking about against jobs, because see, one thing about it is that you could be at a job or you could be at a place where you're getting an experience. And what I mean by that, getting an experience, is sometimes it's way more valuable than any job can ever pay you. So if I'm getting some type of knowledge that's going to be able to help me in the field that I'm trying to go towards, I'm willing to work that job. You know what I'm saying? And I also believe that you do need to go and work at a different place, especially if you have thoughts of being an entrepreneur. You should start from the bottom and head to the top, unless you got a good coach. If you got a really good life coach, man, you should follow your life coach, and you should really be able to set those bullet points in place for you to be able to reach those goals you're trying to be able to reach. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't, the best place to be able to learn how to structure a job is through a job. You know what I mean? And so, but never getting caught up in the place where you become so a part of this job that when they tell you they're gonna fire you or they're gonna do something to you, that it doesn't become a part of your attitude or a part of your life, and that it doesn't change up the way that you feel, the way that you think, the way that you are. You just continue to keep on moving in love, beauty, and grace. You know what I mean? So those are the things that you look for in a harmonious job. You know what I'm saying? Or a harmonious place. You want to be able to find love. It's got to be something that you're able to give out to the world. So here we're going to go again with my man Bob Proctor. He's going to be talking about self. You know, a lot of the times I think it's more
learn
so
more
like
about yourself.
Yeah.
People don't know who they are to a certain extent, and they get lost in their content and trying to find themselves. But through deep meditation and through visualizing what it is that you want to be able to do with your life, man, you are truly able to find yourself at another level. So here's Bob Proctor with another video.
Experience has been people attend seminars, especially self-development seminars, to look for the answer. They want to know, what is it out there I can learn so that I can be more successful? That wasn't your motivation?
No, oddly enough. And I think probably you're right. I think that's what most people are looking for. I think they're looking for an answer outside of themselves, and they're never going to find it. I think by this time I realized it was something in me. I met a man here in Toronto. He was one that originally got me involved in studying this, Ray Stanford. And he told me if I didn't like the results I was getting in my life, that I was going to have to change me because they were my results. And he said, if you're going to change you, you're going to have to find out something about yourself. And that seemed to make sense. I don't think it was an earth-shattering idea. It wouldn't give anybody a brain hernia, but it made a hell of a lot of sense to me. So I started to study myself. I found most people don't know who they are. They really don't.
What do you mean? I mean, I know my name, I know my age, I know where I live.
that's not
what
you,
else
though.
is there?
You know, that's
what
just
size,
it. If you
clothes
ask the average person who they are, they'll give you their name. They'll say, I'm Bob Proctor, but I'm not. Bob and Proctor are two words. My parents give them to me. They're called names, but it's not me. It's my name. Then somebody will say, well, this is me, but this isn't me either. It's my body. Like, you never phone down here to the studio and say, body won't be in today. It's sick.
Okay.
You know, we don't say am hand or am leg. It's my hand, my leg, my body, my name. Who am I? Well, that's an interesting question. And I believe if a person will start to study that and look for the answer, they'll find it. See, I think we live simultaneously on three planes of understanding. We're spiritual creatures, we have an intellect, and we live in physical bodies.
Okay.
But because we lack awareness or understanding of who we are, we're totally locked into a physical world, and we let things outside of us control us. 95% of the population are reacting to life. They're not really living at all.
Okay. And would you call that one of the barriers to success?
Oh, there's no question about it. I think there's two barriers. Success is a funny word. Nightingale had a great definition for it. He said a person's successful if they know where they are, and they know where they're going, and they're progressively moving in that direction. He said that success was the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Anyone that has a goal and they're moving towards it, they're successful. Most people think that you're successful if you have a lot of money. Quite often you have a lot of money if you're successful, but it isn't. I wouldn't say Mother Teresa has a lot of money.
Okay.
You know, but she's a pretty successful lady. So it's...
okay, so that barrier to success...
Well, there's a couple of them.
Okay.
I think there's two barriers. One is our conditioning. The conditioning that takes place in our subconscious mind from the time we're infants. All we can do is act and talk like the people around us. That's why we learn the language we learned. If there was 10 languages spoken in our home, we'd learn 10 languages without any trouble. There's usually one, and that's the only one we ever learn. And we grow older and we think, oh, I couldn't learn another language. We could learn 100 if we wanted to. You can do anything. But I think we're conditioned. We have a real strong conditioning, usually with not some very good ideas.
So, you know, that's the real talk of it, man. Sometimes we have some real strong conditions and not a lot of good ideas because we're trained to be able to be a certain way. So we're taught that, hey, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, and we have so much fear about it. We'll talk ourselves right out of our blessings. We're so deep in talking ourselves out of our blessings. We'll give up our dreams before we give up our jobs. We'll give up our dreams before we give up our jobs. We won't say, you know what, if somebody, they tell you, hey, if you go over here and you do this, you're going to get fired tomorrow. And you have something that's going on with your dreams. What you're going to do is you're going to go right back to the job and get back in line instead of going towards your dream. And then you look up and somebody's doing the same dream that you wanted to be able to do. And you see everybody just doing it and going after it. And you just continue to be able to be like, you know what, this year I'm going to finally go towards it. This year I'm going to finally go towards it. And the reality of it is that's going to be every year. It's going to be every year that it's going to be this year. You're going to always be trying to look towards something that's never probably going to be able to happen for you because you're not putting in the effort to be able to do it. Or you're putting so much fear towards it that you don't even believe it. So it's super hard for the universe to be able to believe that you want it. You can't convince the universe that you want it because you don't believe it. So many times we get so caught up in thinking that everybody's not helping us or people are not doing something for our business or for our lives. Let me tell you something. Get locked in, stay focused on that goal, and don't worry about what they're saying outside of you. What they saying outside of you can't control anything that's going on. What they're saying outside of you doesn't control anything that's going on the inside. You have the power to be able to move this thing forward. Sometimes it's just time for us to be able to move forward out of that place and that position because we need to get uncomfortable. You ever notice that even in the midst of a crisis, something good is about to happen. I remember one time when I was getting ready. See, the one thing about fear and manifesting, you can manifest in fear. I remember when, I was one time getting put out of a home or something or whatever. I got put out, and then something happened. I was worried about being homeless and or not having a place to go. And something happened. I ended up getting a place to go, ended up finding a better job, and finding this and finding that. And it always works out like that. No matter what that situation is, you have to learn how to be able to find peace in the place that you are at. And that's why the journeys are always going. And most people are scared to go on a journey, because what happens is to be able to be brought up, you got to lose everything. You got to get rid of that old image. You got to get rid of that old you. You got to get rid of those old habits. Being around those old people, you can't vibrate to the highest version of you because you're around those people who don't even have that vibration. So when it's time for you to leave that job, and that job keep on giving you the signs that it's time for you to leave, stop holding on to it. Walk away from it. Let them miss you. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who are in control of your own life at all times. There's no ifs and buts about this life. Most people just make the excuse to be able to say why they didn't do anything. But it's no excuse to not being able to get to your goals, man. Check this out. We'll give y'all another part of this video. Not that one. Let's do this.
There seem to be three things that imbue work with meaning. Firstly, a meaningful job taps into the deepest, most sincere and talented parts of us. So different people will necessarily find different sorts of work meaningful, according to what's inside their deepest self. For some, meaning might emerge from baking bread. Others will feel their deep self engaged by computer science. For others still, they'll feel most fully themselves, most fully alive, when investing money or teaching kids a foreign language. Secondly, a meaningful job is one which to some extent helps others, which fixes a problem that humans have, a job which in ways large and small serves humanity. Meaningful work provides a service to others. And thirdly, a job feels meaningful when the person doing it can viscerally sense day to day the impact of their work upon an audience. Not only is the job theoretically meaningful, it actually feels meaningful as one does it in the course of an average day. Why should it be so hard to find meaningful work? Why are we in such danger of doing work that brings in money but doesn't fulfill the meaning side of us? Three big reasons stand out. Firstly, because it's perilously hard for us to locate our true interests in the time we have before simply paying the bills becomes the imperative. Our interests don't manifest themselves spontaneously. They require us to patiently analyze ourselves and try out a range of options to see what feels as if it might have the best fit for us. But unfortunately, schools and universities, as well as society at large, doesn't place much emphasis on this stage of education, on helping people to...
Man. So it's like you said, a lot of the times when it comes down to our dreams, and it really boils down to it, our dreams require a lot of time, it requires a lot of patience, and it requires us being able to take a self-observance of ourselves, which some of us are moving in so much of a fast speed that we don't even feel like we have time to be able to sit with ourselves. But I tell you what, if you don't find the time to be able to go through your dream and be able to find that self perseverance and to being able to find what it is that you need, you're going to stay stuck, and you're going to stay stuck the same. And what I mean by the same is that one thing in this life, either you're moving forward or you're staying still. And staying still is moving backwards. Doing the same thing and having the same experiences over and over and over and over again, like clockwork, but not fulfilling your dreams. You see what I'm saying? When you're not fulfilling your dreams, and you talking about fulfilling your dreams and not doing that thing that you love doing and not being there for society, it's somebody out there looking for you. And you got to get out there and go and get them, because they waiting for you to start their business, and they waiting for you to be able to do something. But you taking your time because you steady worried about it. Time to go. You know what I'm saying? Let's quit putting our jobs before our dreams. It's a bad idea, man. Because you're gonna always be thirsting for more, and you ain't gonna know why, but it's gonna always be something more. You know, one thing about me that I always thought about is that I never wanted to be 60 years old, 50 years old, or no years old, and not be saying that I'm doing what it is that I love doing. I hate to look around here and be an age where I can't do something and say I didn't live the life that I wanted to live. It ain't a life worth living if living in fear is not a life worth living. Everything gets manifested through the Most High, and you got to be able to believe that, man. Straight up. And so with that being said, man, we going to leave you with another video like I always do at this time. And this time, man, I'm going to leave y'all with another joint off of the album Free. It'll be coming to y'all real soon. You know what I'm saying? This is another joint with my man Trippy Hippie. And this is called Hustle Go Get It, because that's what we going to do every year, every day, all the time. Every time we on our grind is hustle and go and get it, boy. Peace and blessings. Blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, like my kids will tell you, man, in real life, not in fake life. Hey, subscribe, leave your email, do all that good stuff, man. Peace.
Yeah, I like this vibe. Hey, Trippy, man, you a fool for this one, man. I'm feeling this vibe, man. Yeah, and man, I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, go and get it. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was born to get it. I had a kid come and ask me what's my motivation. I told him feed the youth the truth of this corrupted nation. Always keep your business straight and always keep your patience. Now collection dog, I built a brand and formed a corporation. I'm more wiser than the man that I thought I was. At least I was yesterday, I think I thought I was. Hey, do you really question me? I think we question us. So are you really hating me? I think we hating us. Inside, don't know how many nights I cried. From the cell up in my brain, from all the pain I held inside. Now Trippy got me out in AZ. I love the weather, the energy's amazing. My chakras coming together. It's nothing more amazing than mind and spirit together. I ain't tripping off yesterday, cause today gon' be mine forever, forever. I'm rapping, boy, you know it's pure purpose. While y'all eat the words of these serpents that's on the surface. I made a history out of shaking these non-believers. Disrespect me, now respect me, expect me like I was Jesus. I'm playing in the game, you playing the commentary. You on the sideline, so I guess it ain't necessary. I'm saying, man, all this unnecessariness. Yeah, good, man. Yeah, and man, I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, go and get it. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was taught to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was born to get it, so get it. Hustle, wear a minute. Travel around the world, I'm on my pivot, baby. I was born to get it.
Yeah. Let me take y'all back to the start of my depression. Not even 7, I was already stressing. Mom chose the drugs, I was left to just question what I did wrong. Why must God Jesus blessing? That shit made me strong, I consider it a blessing. I didn't choose to rap, life chose my profession. Now I'm expressing my emotions and transgressions. No more suppressing my feelings of aggression. Yeah, my words are a weapon, so don't you just reject them. I'ma fight for what's right. Yeah, till I'm fucking breathless. Yeah, this world is a mess, and yeah, it's time for us to step in. Everybody living reckless, so you better eat my message.
Come on, come on.
So you better eat my message. Yeah, you better hear my message.
Yeah.
It's Trippy.